Hear it. Night Shaft. Whoa, what a name. Patrick, good morning. Good morning, Patrick. And Watchman News, shalom. There goes all the puzzlemen, shalom. Mama, ooh, I don't want to die. Sister Renee is here. Hopefully Forrest doesn't have COVID-19. Carry on, carry on. Homestead hopeful, Tara. Sean Huckabee, John, Mechanic 1968, Roger, Roger, Roger. Thank y'all for being here. Welcome to the first edition in May. Das Sheep? My sheep have their own... My sheep are on YouTube? Incredible. Holy cow. Shiny Object Syndrome, all the squirrels, all the things. Sleep Dog Patriot, good morning. Yankee Survival, who the hell is that? Never heard of him. Good morning, brother. Welcome to the first ever May edition of the Coronapocalypse Bear Independent Intel Report. Thank y'all for being here. Yeah, tremendous, the best. We're pushing 85,000 subs at this channel. Thank you. Welcome, new people. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for supporting what we do. I'm hoping that you are the same particular brand of slightly off kilter that we are. I think you'll enjoy it here. We are not the fear-mongering doomer porn 15 reasons that zombies are gonna rape your dog kind of channel, or 22 bushcraft knives you have to buy now so that you don't die in the apocalypse. Here's my bushcraft knife. It's a Mora companion. You know what? This terrible bushcraft knife has had more blood and guts and wood shavings and shaved more hair and made more things than, I guarantee you, the vast majority of $400 bushcraft knives. Guarantee you. For 15 bucks. Well worth it. Anyway, thank you all for being here. We're pushing 85,000 people. What? Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. Intel at bearindependent.com is your email address for actionable intelligence. Intel at bearindependent.com. How many A's in the word independent? Goose egg, that's right. Intel at bearindependent.com. The entirety of this report can be found on Patreon, minus the bear scribbles. The bear scribbles are mine alone, but you do get my commentary, as well as all the supporting documents and pics and stuff that goes along with this report on Patreon. We post these the night before on Patreon, then we deliver it here for free on YouTube the following morning. So, patreon.com, just look for Bear Independent. Y'all are killing it in the store. I appreciate y'all. By the way, we got so many people yesterday that were like, Bear, I'm salivating over that Woodland Marpat kit. How do I get one? You blew up my email, which is good. Thank you. On the Woodland look at that. Look at that tag. Look at that. Awesome. Awesome. These are now on the store at bearindependent.com. Go to Goods and Gear, click the store, you'll find those. Grindstone has an amazing raffle coming up. I'm going to show you guys a little bit more about that in a moment. Grindstone is our charitable organization that seeks to be the hands and feet of the Father. We serve the kingdom, especially in times of chaos, which here we are, times of chaos-ish. Like, honestly, like question mark. It's like, if by chaos you mean that there's less food at the grocery store and we've all basically been mandated to watch Netflix, But anyway, we're spinning up to do a couple of big things in the near future, building a chapel and building a church for 2 different projects, a summer and a fall project. So grindstoneministries.com. The podcast is up to almost 22,000 listens. Just went through Isaiah 23 this morning. So if you enjoy reading your Bible and you'd like Bear's perspective on that, we're in the book of Isaiah right now, which is awesome because Yeshayahu, Isaiah, constantly prophesies about Messiah. And so if you're wondering like the whole like, how did Jesus or Jesus or Yeshua or Yahusha of Nazareth become the anointed of the Most High, Yahuwah, our Elohim, or the Lord our God? How did all that happen? Isaiah is a great place to start. So we're going through that in the podcast right now. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. That helps us in the YouTube algorithm. And BT dubs, we need more silver linings. Please write into the intel at bearindependent.com email, intel at bearindependent.com. We need more good news. We need to know what's going on in your life. How have you found some positivity in this COVID-19 situation, please hit us up. Now, the first ever May edition of the Bear Independent Intel Report. Let's hydrate. Pinkies up, boys. Pinkies up. Disastercoffee.com. Overview. 1 May, Bear Independent Intel Report. Number of cases continues to climb here and in the entire world. Global cases 3.302 million, with 2 million of those cases active. 3.3 million global cases. The United States accounts for 1/3 of those. Global deaths are 233,745. Global recoveries now top 1 million at 1,038,000. U.S. cases are 1,093,724. 878,000 of those cases are active, ongoing, current, right here, right now. As stated a couple of days ago on the report, I was flipping back through the binder full of these reports that I have. I keep them all in a binder. One day, many years from now, at like Antiques Roadshow of the future, somebody's gonna be like, I have this binder that my great uncle granddaddy Bear left to us, and it's filled with all his patriotic scribblings and rants about the Coronapocalypse. And they'll be like, and that little thing, that star will fly across the screen and be like, $7. Right. Anyway, I have this binder, and a month ago, we were knocking on the door of 1 million global cases. And I think a lot of us, perhaps to a certain extent, myself included, were like, oh my gosh, the world's ending. What do we do? And now, frankly, we're at like over 3 million, 3.3 million global cases. And I'm like, F it, I'm over it, let's go. I want to make stuff, do stuff, see people, do the things, man. I'm back, baby. I'm over it. I'm over it. Herd immunity much? I don't know. I don't care. Is that reckless? Maybe. I don't know. But in here, I'm over this. Forsake not the gathering together. I want to see my people. I want to do my things. I got lots of stuff to do. And I realize that that may not be the socially responsible thing to do, but I also realize I don't really care what somebody else's opinion of me performing my iteration of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is. So, U.S. deaths, 63,801. U.S. recoveries, 151,784. The Global Times editor, which sounds just like an absolutely reputable organization, the Global Times editor, Hugh Zujin on Weibo. Hugh Zijin, there we go, Zijin on Weibo said, quote, Australia is always there, making trouble. It is like a bit of chewing gum stuck on the sole of China's shoes. Sometimes you have to find a stone to rub it off, end quote. War! By the way, that video is doing great. 112,000 views in 25 hours. Bless y'all. Appreciate ya. Welcome. The best channel. This channel is only tremendous. No fake news, believe me. Yeah, incredible. China is threatening to halt medical supplies to the Netherlands after they thanked Taiwan and says, quote, our tourists will not visit the Netherlands anymore, end quote. Shut up, China. Like, just shut up. This whole, like, there is no Taiwan thing is stupid. Now, granted, it's almost like China is like this big, massive, like, sumo wrestler, but like kind of buff sumo wrestler. And like Taiwan is like this little tiny, like, nerdy kid. And they're like, we don't want to fight you, but we also don't want to be your friend. We just want to do one of these, right? And China's like, we're going to be friends? No, China's like, you're mine. And if you try and leave me, I'm going to whoop your ass, right? And so that's kind of a weird relationship there. However, Taiwan most certainly exists. So the whole concept that it doesn't exist is just stupid. The Office of Director of National Intelligence confirmed on record for the first time Thursday that the U.S. intelligence community is investigating whether the pandemic started as a laboratory accident in Wuhan, China. They have ruled out They have ruled out bioengineering of the virus itself. A study has revealed that it has not been genetically modified, nor was it man-made. Well, Bear, that's exactly what the reptilian overlords would say. Of course the Council on Foreign Relations wants us to do that because we all know that the global elitists, the cabal, are working together to gene splice that thing together so it'll get in there and take your kidneys offline so that they can harvest them for adrenochrome to feed their satanic bloodlust orgies. Okay, maybe. Or, just throwing this out there, or the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, while pretty much his job is disinformation, misinformation, redirection, he certainly doesn't have our best interests at heart. He probably has his own best interests at heart, and then the people that he serves, their best interests next. And then we're down here at the bottom somewhere. Maybe the entire thing is not an intergalactic conspiracy to harvest our organs. Maybe it wasn't man-made nor gene spliced. Maybe. Just saying. Socially distance. By the way, from now on, when you're at the store, when you're out there in the world, I want y'all, Bear Nation, to start doing this. Whenever somebody gets too close to you, and if they look at you like, just go, socially distance! Like that. Throw like a Hadouken at them, like Ryu. Too much coffee. The UN says the coronavirus may bring about a secondary pandemic of global hunger. Remember food shortage? What are the three things that we're tracking on constantly? Economic disturbances in the force, which clearly exist. Food shortage. Renee, I see you laughing over there. Knock it off. Food shortage and civil unrest, people behaving badly. Well, so we're still on the first page and we've got war rhetoric and food shortages. And then in addition to that, we're now also tracking on potential disruptions in the election cycle in the United States and war and the implications of all these things together. These should be things that you're developing daily input on and plugging them into your own threat matrix daily to figure out whether it's on paper or in your brain or in your gut to figure out where are we in four-dimensional space-time right now? What does the threat profile for me right here, right now look like? And then, how am I acting on that? There's war coming. What should we do? Buy things that we might not be able to get, stack food to the rafters, grow food, hang out with awesome people, do hard things, date each other, fall in love, build context, get calluses on your hands, make sweat pour out of your brow, right? Those kinds of things. Yeah, let's do that while we can. The UN says coronavirus may bring about a secondary pandemic of global hunger. The World Food Programme's Executive Director, David Beasley, cautioned the UN Security Council. See, and this is the thing. This goes to the UN Security Council because food is power. How many times have I said this? All the times, ever. Food is power, okay? While dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, we are also on the brink of a hunger pandemic. There is also a real danger that more people could potentially die from the economic impact of COVID-19 than the virus itself. We've only said this 14 kajillion times, I believe. 30.3 million people have now filed for jobless claims in the last 6 weeks, or roughly 1/10 of the American population. That's not good. That's not good. I forget, 18% was the last that we reported on actual percentage jobless claims, like unemployment. 18%. While it's estimated that the actual number is somewhere around 33%. The Great Depression, I don't know what was so great about it. The Great Depression was 25% unemployment. And so we're on either side of that, but near enough to it right now, depending on whose numbers you believe right now. Yet again, I'm not saying we need to be irresponsible, but if you're healthy, take your ass to work. And I think part of this too is there are some people that they have a very real need to receive benefit from the government right now because they can't work because of circumstance, COVID-19. Then on the other hand, there's some people that are making more on unemployment than they were at work, and they're like, you know what, I'm just gonna stay at home because I'm getting this check. And it's like, I get that, but the government's job is not to subsidize your existence. And so, what do? If you can work, work. If you're sick, don't go to work. Don't stick your fingers in your face. Don't run around licking people. Social distance! Right? So, social distance when you can. Wear a mask. Wear gloves if you're touching commonly commonly touched surfaces. But it's common sense. Wash your damn hands with warm water and antibacterial soap. Or not antibacterial soap. I don't care. Just soap. Right? Disinfect your hands. Whatever. Fog your whole house with Lysol. Whatever. But if you can be of service, be of service. Get back out there in the community and do. Right? Our economy is predicated on doing. Our American lifestyle is predicated on doing. And so when we're all locked up and we can't do, things start to fall apart. So we can't let it fall apart. I don't think any of us are truly ready for the implications of this system completely going off the rails. Even if this channel is called Bear Independent and the goal is to be independent of that system, I would like to voluntarily decide when we exit the system, not to have the system completely collapse and go, I guess we're here now. Now's when we shave the mohawks into our head, start wearing leather, and try and find Mel Gibson so we can all kill him. Like, no. Repeating. Processing and manufacturing slowdowns are decreasing the supply of goods, particularly particularly animal products. Beef production has been reduced by more than 10%, and pork production has now been reduced by a whopping 36%. Some janky just walked out on my back porch with a Marlin 44. I guess something needs to die. Essential workers at Amazon, Instacart, Whole Foods, Walmart, Target, and FedEx are expected to hold a, quote, unprecedented strike this Friday over, quote, their employers supposedly profiting at the expense of their health. Again, we've addressed this. I think we addressed this yesterday. If you are being compelled, you have to work or you'll lose your job. You have to work or we put a 9x19 into your little girl, right? You absolutely have to work. Maybe that strike makes sense. If you are there voluntarily and you are getting paid to be there and you have voluntarily accepted the circumstances of employment at this time under these conditions, I scratch my beard at you. This is how, by the way, at this channel, this is how we scratch our beards. It looks something like this. So here's the deal. If you are engaged in voluntary servitude in exchange for money, your strike makes no sense at all. If you are being compelled at the end of a gun barrel that you will do this or else, then yeah, it makes sense. And I don't know the circumstances of that further. So if anybody has actual intel to share on that, like you've seen it with your eyes, heard it with your ears, please forward it to us, intel@bearindependent.com. Thank you for whoever just gave us the $4. We appreciate you. 1,000 people here and only 153 thumbs up. Come on, y'all. Come on. That helps us in the algorithms. There are reports that Asia is having issues harvesting their rice crop due to a lack of migrant workers. This means higher prices on rice. Yay. Supply chain, food. Remember the whole make food come up out of the ground? Food shortage. Remember all the things that we're tracking on here. Food shortage. Legal and political. Many places are cautiously opening up, where in other places they're extending stay-at-home orders. According to a draft of the state's efforts to reopen parts of the economy, Oregon restaurants may be asked to consider keeping names, contact information, and dates of visits for patrons. If you're in Oregon and you own a restaurant and somebody has asked you to do this, please contact us directly, intel@bearindependent.com. Also, please scratch your beard at the people who ask you to do this. This is a violation of the Fourth Amendment. How about no? Because I'll tell you this, honestly, if I walk into a restaurant and they're like, hello, sir. Welcome to Moshe's. Yes, Moshe's. That's right. Here at Moshe's, everything we have is clean. Leviticus 11 clean. Beef bacon burger sounds wonderful. By the way, I'm going to need your name, address, date of birth, social security number, blood type. I'm going to be like, hey, no. Have a great day. I'm out. And they're like, sir, where are you going? Not here. Nowhere else. Yeah, exactly. This is how we say no to that. Thanks, but no thanks. Okay? So, no, I'm not patronizing your restaurant. If you're gonna need, we're gonna need to remove skin samples from your youngest child. Like, how about no? How about no? We're not doing that. Washington's phased reopening plan starts with widespread testing followed by rapid isolation of individuals with the virus and contact tracing to prevent it from spreading. Governments are looking into technology for the tracing portion of this proposal. Privacy experts fear digital contact tracing could outlive the crisis. You think? Again, no. Well, sir, you have to, no. Well, yeah, but it says no. Yeah, but what about that no? Well, we're required to know. No. No. Can I be more clear on this? No. No. And this is, I had this, again, while reading Isaiah this morning for the podcast. I had this a year ago. Many different channels were talking about this sifting. Like the Father was separating his people from everybody else. The sifting. And it's like, we just feel like there's this thing coming. And it just feels like more and more there's this chasm between the world and the Father's people and what's going on here. And like, it just felt like a little angsty, like there was something grating against you. Here it is. Are you gonna have the cojones to stand there and say, no, I'm not doing that? Or, well, I really like their burgers. Okay, sure, here's all my data. In the world or of the world? We're all in the world. We all have to be here. Here's the world, okay? But are you whoring with Babylon? Or are you just trying to get by and serve your Creator to the best of your ability? Which one is it? I think this sifting, this separating, sanctification, literally to be set apart, to be holy, to be sanctified, that's what it means, to be set apart. The separating, I think this is part of that. And I think this is a really good opportunity for people to look at the way they live their life and go, am I whoring with Babylon? Am I willing to trade my God-given, constitutionally protected rights for a cheeseburger or whatever, a paycheck, security? Little observation from Bear. But I digress. Medical. Clinicians suspect COVID-19 may cause all kinds of things. It could make your testicles shrink back up into your body. It'll make a fourth ear grow out of the side of your face. Your toenails will fall out. All kinds of stuff. Kidney, liver, and more. Additional waves of the outbreak are expected. For those of you that don't have testicles, it'll make you grow testicles. It's terrible. This disease is terrible. The FDA, from the FDA, quote, hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine have not been shown to be safe and effective for treating or preventing COVID-19. They are being studied in clinical trials for COVID-19. They are being studied, and we authorized their temporary use during the COVID-19 pandemic for treatment of the virus in hospitalized patients when clinical trials are not available or participation is not feasible. Hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine can cause abnormal heart rhythms such as QT internal prolongation and a dangerously rapid heart rate called ventricular tachycardia. Yeah, Bear knows the big words. Boom. So, again, both sides of this argument. We've heard it called a miracle drug. We've got lots of people writing to us saying, bro, this stuff is dangerous. Don't use it. Don't recommend that people use it. And so that's straight from the FDA. Again, hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine have not been shown to be safe and effective for treating or preventing COVID-19. Societal in general. Many places, civilians and military are requiring face coverings. More protests. Recently, citizens stormed the Capitol. Stormed the Capitol! Yes, in Lansing, Michigan. Chanting, let us in, and USA, 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 USA. Good. keep going. Who works for who? And how freaking sad is it that these are considered revolutionary, dangerous ideas that in adherence with our country's founding documents, the government works for us, not the other way around. That's dangerous. Good, I prefer dangerous liberty to comfortable slavery. Thank you very much. A local San Antonio restaurant, the 225 Urban Smoke, was struggling to stay afloat during the pandemic. It was just dealt a second blow when thieves broke in and stole all of the restaurant's meat and everything out of the refrigerator. Civil unrest, food shortage. Now this is micro, but there's more of this coming as the system continues to break down, as Rome continues to burn. As Rome continues to burn, you got a couple of options here. One is to stand inside of the burning city of Rome as the system degrades around you and go, huh, wow, all this S is on fire. It's getting a little warm here. It's hard to breathe. I don't know, I think Billy just died. What is going on? It's not comfortable here and I don't like it. Holy crap, I'm on fire. This sucks. Or get outside of the system and go, hey, look, that thing's on fire. I definitely don't want to be over there where that thing is on fire. That sucks. Is there anybody in there who's on fire that we can rescue and pull out? And so 22.5 Urban Smoke, my heart goes out to you. I'm sorry that those scumbags did that to you. If you are those people, reach out to us. If there's anything we can do for you, we will. We will help you. To the best of our ability, we will help you. But let this be a lesson to the rest of us. Rome is burning. Do you stand inside of it while it's on fire and simply observe the fact that Rome is burning, or do you GTFO? If your house was on fire, what would you do? Would you stand inside and go, I really like this picture of us when we were in the islands. This was the Cayman Islands right here, and we're gonna take this, and I'm gonna put that in my pocket right here. Oh, and this candle. My Aunt Felicia gave me this candle, we're gonna take this, and I'm like, or do you get out? You grab everything you love, everybody you love, and you GTFO. Well, Bear, it's not that bad yet. By the time it's that bad, you may not have the ability to GTFO. Get the flock out of there. Hundreds of thousands of people in the US on temporary work visas are concerned they will soon be illegal immigrants because the system is so hampered right now. Many have lost their jobs, and in many cases they are unable to get back to their home countries due to closed borders. Well, I appreciate the fact that they're concerned over the legality of them being here. That's very good. The system SL Burno right now, things are not, and here's the thing. Are things truly bad? No. Are we mildly inconvenienced? Yeah. Do things have the potential to be bad? Yeah. This is like, getting back to the same analogy of your house is on fire. This is like we're standing in the kitchen and there's a grease fire in the stove and we're like, I wonder what we should do right now. Do we get the fire extinguisher, pull the pin, step back, and sweep that ABC fire extinguisher over the top of that? Why am I doing this like it's a gun? Sweep the fire extinguisher over the top of that fire, knowing that when we put that fire out, there's going to be a big mess to clean up, and it's going to be inconvenient, and we're not going to enjoy the cleanup process of putting that fire out, but we have to do that so that that fire doesn't spread and consume us all. Or do we go, I don't really want to shoot the fire extinguisher off in the house. It's going to make a mess. It's going to be really inconvenient. We'll just let it burn. Just let it burn. I don't need to use my gear. That's a good comment right there. I don't need to use my gear. I don't need to use this fire extinguisher to put this fire out. Intel at bearindependent.com. Intel at bearindependent.com. There are 0 A's in the word independent. Intel at bearindependent.com. The oso independiente. That is correct. Again, we need more silver linings. I really appreciate the input that we got from OTR truck drivers, over-the-road truck drivers, and also looking for international reports as well. What's going on in your neck of the woods outside of the continental United States? Are people in Hawaii, Shaloha? Would love to know what you got going on over there as well. If you smoke that chicken with a 44 mag, I'm gonna both be pissed and impressed at the same time. So, we're giving Scissorbeak to Grandma. We decided, so he can take his polluted genome up the creek and stay over there. AdventureFrontier.com. If you need Spartan armor, AdventureFrontier.com has Spartan armor. The other thing that they have that goes on Spartan armor are these. That's right. See that right there? Looks vaguely familiar. I've seen that somewhere before. These are our bare minimum kits. They rock. AdventureFrontier.com, Spartan armor, plate carriers, North American Rescue blowout kits, our blowout kits, the best kits. You can get all that at AdventureFrontier.com. They're a small business. And I would vastly, greatly encourage you at this time, if, underline and circle the if you are paying down debt and you are paying your bills and you've got food in your pantry and you're growing food and you still have some scratch left over, do all these other things first. Then if you still have some scratch left over, please support small businesses. Small businesses are having a hell of a time weathering this economic S-storm right now. Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, they will still have retirement accounts and yachts when this thing is over with. It is really, really easy to get on our phones and be like, I wonder what Amazon has today. Well, I know it's not 2-day shipping anymore. It's more like 4-week shipping, but I'm just gonna get it. Or, and by the way, as somebody who has products on Amazon as a small business, you realize that that person has to come out of pocket to completely fulfill that order and pay for shipping and get it to you. And after it's confirmed delivered, after it's at your house, then a week later, Amazon starts the process of paying you, the person who produces paying me, the person who produced the product. So I gotta come fully out of pocket in order to provide the product to you, then wait a week after you receive it to then begin the process of getting paid by Amazon. Not saying that Amazon's bad for small businesses. Lots of small businesses have made mucho dollars on Amazon, but the small business that does that is out a ton of money on Amazon in the interim. So go to a small business, go to their website, go to their store and interact with them. Commerce with them, please and thank you, please, please, please. So Adventure Frontier for Spartan armor, as well as myriad other things. You can get Bearfax there. This is the bare minimum in Marpat. So many of y'all were like, Bear, that Marpat is the most Marpatty Marpat that ever Marpatted. How do I get some Marpat? Can I get some Marpat? I like the Marpat. Is that Marpat Woodland? I like Marpat. And so my wife yesterday fielded so many emails about Marpat that she went ahead and just put this in the store. So now rather than being by request only, it is now in the store. BearIndependent.com, click goods and gear, and then that takes you to the web store. Click store, okay? Goods and gear. What is this? This is a purpose-built, made in America, guaranteed forever blowout kit. Better than military issue by a mile. It's about this big. It hangs on your plate carrier. This is or chest rig, or war belt, or rucksack, or the back of your headrest in your car, or wherever. The door of your office. Don't get it in Marpat, maybe get it in red with reflective striping, which we also offer, or gray, or black, or coyote tan, OD green, multicam, whatever, okay? This is purpose-built for dealing with a gunshot wound. It's everything you need and nothing you don't for dealing with gunshot wounds, sucking chest wounds, lacerations, arterial bleeds, major trauma, okay? This is the 2.5 version. All orders that we're filling right now are being filled with the Gen 2.5. So updated clips on the back rather than snaps. You got these plastic clips that have been proven to retain just as well, and they're easier to deal with. Okay, then inside, see this hangs on your kit. Oh no, we've been hit. Rip this open, find the red, and pull. So we've got a tab up top here of loop that holds your combat gauze, your rolled impregnated gauze, your Curlix, an additional tourniquet, your compressed gauze, whatever you want in there. And you can get Z-fold combat gauze, rolled gauze, whatever, as an additional to this kit at the website. But there's a place for it to live right there on top. If I need that, I can pull that out. But oh, I'm hit. This is on my kit. I grab the red loop and I pull. And this comes out where I can use it. The whole idea of this is it gets out where I can use it. Unlike a lot of like military kits, that stupid bungee cord, or yeah, it's underneath the guy on his belt and you can't get at the friggin' belt, and now you gotta roll the casualty and try and get that thing out. And this comes out where we can use it, okay? You pull this tab, you can hang this on a nail, on a hook, on a snap link, on a whatever if you want to, okay? So you can hang it if you want. It's about yay big, or just lay it on the ground next to the casualty to work on them. Another upgrade, tape is now retained with some hook and loop right here, but if I need it, comes right out. Okay. Then you got in here 6-inch emergency trauma dressing, legit decompression needle. Not a pleased to you for not have the lungs that are to collapse from fluids, sir. Not one of those, but a legit decompression needle. Gen 7 cat tourniquet, nitrile gloves. And then down here, you've got your 7¼ inch shears with the O2 bottle cut out in them right there. North American Rescue. Nasal pharyngeal airway. With Surgilube, nose trumpet, as it's often called, 2 5x9 gauze abdominal pads, and then 2, not 1, but 2, not compact, but full size, 2 full size high-fin chest seals, industry standard high-fin chest seals. And the reason for that is bullets tend to go through people, not in people. And so you tend to have an entry wound and an exit wound. And if you only have one of those covered, you've only dealt with half the problem. And so 2 chest seals, not 1. And all of this is handmade in America by Americans, guaranteed forever, for $100 less than what Dark Angel Medical charges for their super high-speed, ultra-tactical kits that are made with Chinese components. So, you know, I'm just saying, you know, okay, all right then, cool. That's the bare minimum kit. Back to the show, roger that. Bear, we don't like it when you sell us stuff. Well, the content's free, so, you know, you watch ads on the television, you listen to them on the radio. At least this goes to supporting the 10 households and 36 people that are supported by this revenue right now during this Coronapocalypse here in my little life that we're living. So I appreciate y'all deeply. Every one of y'all that has supported us at the store, is supporting us on Patreon. We appreciate y'all deeply. Thank you. Single accounts, insider intel, and miscellaneous. Pinkies up, bros. Disastercoffee.com. A viewer that works at a Budweiser brewery, I love this. A viewer that works at a Budweiser brewery was just notified by his, one of the dance monkeys just texted me. A viewer that works at a Budweiser brewery was just notified by his management about the CO2 shortage. Quote, I just thought it was pretty awesome of y'all to have let me and my coworkers know way before our management did. Thank you for all of your intel. Thank you, Bear Nation. Amen. You guys realize that we are still ahead of the New York Times as far as their intel goes? The New York Times, the Bear Nation is more, who'd have thought? Who'd have thought is more effective than the New York Times at doing our job here. Intel at bearindependent.com. Tell those dance monkeys what a good job they're doing. And yes, dance monkey stickers are coming. We have had so many people say, Bear, how can I get a dance monkey sticker? And more importantly, how can I get a GIF of Bear dancing like this? Because I'm an old broken white guy and these are the only moves that I got, right? So dance monkey stickers are coming. My wife is over there just shaking her head at me. Not in a good way. She's not nodding her head like, break me off a piece of that. She's shaking her head like in disgusted shame, like, I can't believe he's doing that thing again. So yeah, we're way ahead of Budweiser management. Bless y'all. You guys are awesome. This contributor has personally seen U.S. forces in Japan getting 23 F-35s with a plan to get 32 more, 67 more. 44 mag doesn't work on F-35s. Well, if they're sitting still, it might. A total of 65 within the next 6 months. Again, war? Question mark? War footing for sure. A viewer working in southeastern Minnesota at a large facility says the CDC and State Department of Health will be coming to give approval for a wing to be turned into a COVID-19 unit for the hospital overflow for those recovering. This person asks for prayer to stay healthy in order to care for the sick and an alcoholic spouse. Quote, my work is with those who have 3 years to 6 months prognosis. I love my work. Called by God, he is my shield. Amen. Bless you, this person. Quote, after getting everyone I know to reach out to Westport PD as well as Westport Town Selectmen, Westport has pulled back from getting those drones from Firefly, who was offering them for free. Thanks, Firefly. One trucker has recently seen trucks being pulled around back for inspection. Quote, my gut tells me with the timing of this secondary news about it being less deadly than they thought, with a 5% mortality rate, they said, that now the idea is, let's make some money, boys. Pull these trucks around, inspect them. Yeah, government. Several truckers have noticed that law enforcement seems to be leaving commercial traffic alone and only showing an interest in passenger vehicles. And one trucker said he just started to see police begin to pull over trucks again. This tornado season has been the deadliest since 2011. Pennsylvania's education secretary says that schools may not open this fall with the current data looking the way it is. So the coming school year, why does YouTube do this? Search faster on TV with voice. Use your voice for faster, easier searching. Thanks, YouTube. I'm kind of in the middle of something right now, hanging out with 1.2 thousand of my closest friends, but I really appreciate the pop-up. Dismiss. Hold on. I can't even do that with a straight face. Let's kill things and break stuff. COVID-19. The coming school year may not even happen in Pennsylvania. Prepper foods and related companies are sold out or increasing greatly in price. There's pics of this on Patreon. From 99 bucks to 240 bucks for a 1 month supply bucket of Augustin Farms. One viewer notes that waste is reduced and oil collection has ceased for his company because there is nowhere to resell after processing with the prices being so low and production so high. International. Puerto Riqueño, or Puerto Rico, is on curfew 24/7, with trips for food and car parts on only 2 days per week, and medical on an emergency basis only. The Canadian federal government, listen up, Canada. The Canadian federal government could be poised to make firearms prohibitions by Friday, today. This gun control legislation would be coming in the wake of the recent shooting in which an illegally armed man with illegally obtained weapons killed 22 people in Nova Scotia. Repeat, an illegally armed man with illegally obtained weapons killed 22 people. So we should definitely do away with all the legally owned firearms. Now, Canada is different in a lot of ways politically, foundationally, than the United States. I'm not Canadian. I don't know what, I know what your God-given rights are. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. There are certain inalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Okay, so is that just within the borders of the United States or everywhere? That's a really good question. And how you answer that, I think, contributes to your worldview greatly. But that's a giant rabbit hole that we're not going to jump in right now. Canada, I don't know what political recourse you have. Boy, I can't say what I want to say because we're here on YouTube. You know what I'm thinking. Also in Canada, a man who has been convicted twice of having lured teenage girls through social media has been granted day parole, even though he is considered to be at high risk of reoffending. It is believed that the pandemic influenced the decision. Y'all, I'm gonna tell you a minute, just a minute. $150 billion per year is the revenue produced by human trafficking. Humans are trafficked for sex, perversion, abomination. $150 billion per year, okay? You could buy all, now then these are pre-pandemic numbers, all of the Targets, like Target stores in the United States, and all of the Starbucks in the United States, and all of the professional basketball teams in the United States, all of them, and own them, and still have spent less money than what is spent every year on human trafficking. This problem is not going away with the quarantine, it's getting worse. Bless you, honey. It's getting worse. This is why we do what we do at Grindstone. Grindstone is partnered indefinitely, in perpetuity, with the Demand Project, thedemandproject.org. Man, there's a rooster over there that just wants to be meat. You hear him, honey? He sounds like one of those horns off of like a 1937 Ford. You hear him? Keep going, homie. You're gonna look good in the freezer. So, it sounded like he said, no, I won't. Thedemandproject.org, okay? Human trafficking. It's an abomination. We fight not against flesh and blood, but against nations and principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places. And so we humbly ask for your support at grindstoneministries.com to do that. Additionally, we're doing a completely badass raffle. And I'm gonna take like 90 seconds right now and tell you about it. So if you gotta pee or need coffee and you just don't care, cool. I care. So we're gonna do this real quick. The last raffle we did raised $3,500, $3,500, $5 at a time. Here's how this works. You go to the store at bearindependent.com. Go to bearindependent.com, click goods and gear, click the store. You can buy a raffle ticket, 1, 10, 100, don't care. You will receive an actual raffle ticket in the mail. That raffle ticket will get your name written on it, and we will draw a name. When we draw a name, the name, what you are raffling for, the first raffle was for one of these. This is the Bear Bushcraft knife, made by Fleming's Fabrications. There's his maker's mark right there. There's my logo. This one was listed for sale at the website, and a totally awesome, badass member of the Bear Nation bought it, and when he bought it, he left a note in the store and said, please contact me, I have special shipping, a special shipping request. And so my wife contacted this gentleman, and he said, here's the deal. I want it shipped to you so that you can raffle it off for Grindstone and use it to raise more money for Grindstone. I don't want it, it's an awesome knife, but I want you to use it to serve the kingdom. That's freaking awesome. Thank you, brother. And so now, this knife, which is one of one, it is the same pattern as the first knife that was raffled off, but with different scales. This knife, by the way, does it shave? Yeah, it shaves. Disgustingly, obnoxiously sharp. All the specs on the steel on this knife are on the website, bearindependent.com. Comes with a fire steel with matching, see that? Kydex sheath, ceramic rod for maintaining your edge. This knife is part of that raffle. Let me show you what else is part of this raffle, okay? This is a custom chest rig from UW Gear Inc. YouTube channel, Alpha Charlie Concepts. There he is, UW Gear Inc. Made in the USA. This holds 4 M16, M4 pattern magazines. He made for us. It's the mini Swamp Fox rig, I believe. Really awesome. It's got cool retention under here. This pops underneath here like so. Pops open at a moment's notice. You can fold those in if you want. Do whatever you want. So this is a 4-mag chest rig, obviously in multicam. With that, you get this bare minimum kit. I just showed you everything that's inside of here. That mounts onto there. You can mount this onto here if you want, or if you don't want. That's one hell of a setup right there. And so you've got UW Gear Inc., Fleming's Fabrications, Bear Independent, Amendment 1 Preparedness, and their canned ham radio. Battery operated, battery back. See that? There's no strings attached to this sucker right here. 25-watt radio inside of a sealed ham, or a sealed 30 caliber can. Ham radio, antenna hooks in right here, good to go. These things are totally badass. They come from amendment1preparedness.com. You hook it up to any 12-volt power source, a battery or a solar panel or a truck or a whatever. And you got a 25-watt radio ready to go inside of this can. And the cool thing is you can just disconnect this, roll it up, right? Well, suck less, Bear. Okay, roger that. Bear is in the process of sucking less. Boom. Radio, ready to go. Okay? And then in addition to this, not currently pictured because it has not arrived yet, but also coming is a swag grab bag. So shirts and hats and patches and cool stuff from Sanctified Supply Company. They're an awesome mom and pop shop making swag, shirts and hats and stuff that glorify the Most High. Check them out, Sanctified Supply Company. So a grab bag of stuff from them, a bunch of patches and stickers and stuff from Bear Independent, and then also a grab bag of disastercoffee.com. So it's a massive freaking giveaway. I'm sorry, raffle. The first raffle was for a knife like this. This knife and the one that preceded it are one of one. There's not another like it in the world, one of one. And that raffle raised $3,500 to help us do what we do to help people who restore victims of human trafficking and sex crimes, the average of which is between 8 and 12 years old and has been violently raped an average of 30 times. So, if this can do $3,500 for the kingdom, I'm hoping that this over here can do a hell of a lot more than that. So please prayerfully consider a $5 bill for charity. We appreciate you. Now, moving on. The Prime Minister of Ruska has coronavirus. Mikhail Mishustin, or something like that. We'll just call him Mickey, has coronavirus. The end, period. I've got nothing more than that. Isolation measures in Colombia will be continuing through 11 May, though a few sectors like infrastructure and manufacturing have been opened. Panama has shut down all businesses except for grocery stores, gas stations, agricultural supply houses, and pharmacies. Agricultural supply houses is critical. It's amazing how Panama has done that, but yet here in a lot of places, you can't get seeds. Stupid. This viewer is a cattle rancher considered essential and notes that during their travel, quote, this morning they changed the pass system from paper to a national database. The police simply type your license plate or national ID number into their phones and your pass pops up. Will we see that here in the United States? Potentially. Should we? Boy, I hope not. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Liberty. I'm gonna go where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. And as long as I'm not negatively impacting other people, get out of my way. Please and thank you. Actionable. Contact your local chicken farmers. You can buy processed chickens by the case from the plants that they supply. A viewer in Alabama got 80 pounds of chicken breast for $65 a pound. Consider with your MAG, your team, your tribe, your crew, your neighborhood, your whatever, your group of people, your church, buy cattle direct from the rancher and butcher that sucker. If you got sharp knives, a tractor, maybe a backhoe, something like that, something to dig a hole to put the guts in, hopefully you're composting that, and a way to hoist that sucker up. Think about like doing a deer, but doing a really big deer. Or you can also do it on its side. A lot of small operations butcher cattle on their side because thing weighs half a ton or more. So a whole bunch of other actionable stuff in here that's available in the report on Patreon. Silver linings. KU and Washburn law schools are providing free legal services to healthcare workers. It's good to know. In Topeka, Kansas, the Department for Children and Families is helping more people pay their energy bills with a second period for accepting applications to their low-income energy assistance program. And then Bear Nation, we need more silver linings. Please reach out to us with more silver linings. I need to know the good stuff that's happening in your life right now. What are the good things? What are you learning that's positive from this COVID-19 shenaniganry and horsepuckery? What's going on with you? Intel@bearindependent.com. And again, for the people that are reaching out to intel@bearindependent.com with like, hey, there's a truckload of hogs for sale over here. The place for that is the forums. bearindependent.com, click the forums and post all of that in the resources section, I believe. Badger and Renee are holding down the fort, so hand clap for Badger and Renee. Y'all are awesome. Keep up the good work. Forums at bearindependent.com. As we've discussed repeatedly, I want a way for us to capture the resources that the system is unable to utilize, that they are literally destroying, so that we can onboard those into our own microsystems here locally, you know, on a community level, on a team level. Also, please don't email me about, hey, there's a whole bunch of hogs over here that you can get for food, because I don't eat hogs. You do you. I don't eat hogs, so I'm not terribly interested in where there's a truckload of hogs, okay? I appreciate where your heart is at, I really do, but I don't do that. So thank you, but I'm good. And so when it comes to the sharing of resources, please do that at the forums at bearindependent.com. Use of hyperlinks here, useful resources that's on Patreon. Again, thanks to Disaster Coffee. They support Grindstone. They don't support Bear Independent. I mean, they watch Bear Independent, but please understand, every time I say Disaster Coffee, that money goes to Grindstone. And Grindstone money is going to building a church and a chapel right now. So, yeah, maybe, Bear, are you whoring in Babylon? Maybe. I just read about this in Isaiah 23 this morning. I would recommend you go listen to that podcast, bearindependent.com, streaming live or on iTunes or on Podbean. It's amazing how it comes full circle. Sam! That money goes to Grindstone, and Grindstone uses that money to do great and powerful things on behalf of the kingdom. So, also, check out Sanctified Supply Co. Amendment 1 Preparedness for that awesome canned ham radio that's right there. And the Hero Soap Company. You got dirty nuts, wash them with Hero Soap. It'll make them tingle. They're awesome. You can use promo code BEAR there. Now, thank you for visiting us at the store. We greatly appreciate y'all. You're keeping a whole bunch of people fed and healthy and happy right now. So thank you. We greatly appreciate that. Again, the entirety of this report is on Patreon. Go to patreon.com, patreon.com. Search for Bear Independent. You'll find us there. GrindstoneMinistries.com. If you want to deploy with us, donate, whatever, check out Grindstone Ministries. And what have we done since last we talked? Myself and a brother and some kids and a wife, so a handful of people, planted 10,000 square foot of corn and 5,000 square foot of oats. You can see a little bit about that on Instagram, and you'll see a lot about that on Patreon coming up in the near future. We bought potatoes to plant. We picked up beef bacon from the butcher. Beef bacon. Yes, that's correct. Beef bacon. Imagine if swine belly and ribeye had a baby and it was clean per Leviticus 11. It's delicious, y'all. We picked up 3 cases of beef bacon from our butcher. We ordered Bearfax supplies, a bunch of Bearfax supplies to fill continuing orders. We hung out, we fellowshipped, did some porch sitting. My wife worked in the garden, weeding and planting. We've instituted a new rule in our household for our older children. Your technology time is directly related to your garden time. You want to spend an hour looking at your phone, you need to spend an hour in the garden. Yep. We're there, y'all. And you know what? It's really good for them. And it's really good for the garden, and it's really good for us. And so, new rule. You might think about onboarding something similar. Whether it's a 1-for-1, 1 minute in the garden means 1 minute of technology time, or you don't get your technology time until you spend X amount of time in the garden, something like that. So, yeah, that's what we did yesterday. Let's talk to the Father. Thank y'all for being here. Y'all are awesome. Father Yah, thank you for the opportunity to do this. Father, thank you for everybody within the sound of my voice. And Father, thank you for what you are doing through us and by us here with the Bear Nation. Father, I pray your blessings on everybody within the sound of my voice. I pray that you would continue to be sovereign over all things, including this COVID-19, whatever this is. Father, thank you for sanctification. Thank you for sifting out your people, and thank you for creating opportunities for us to lean into rather than step away from, oh, it's too hard, it's too scary, it's too whatever. No, Father, thank you for trusting us with the opportunity to lean into this and to come to know you better and to do mighty things on behalf of you to serve your kingdom. Father, I pray that we would have an opportunity during this time to evangelize, to talk about you, to talk about preparedness. Father, to lead people back to you. Father, thank you for redemption and restoration through Yeshua Messiah, through Jesus the Christ, the anointed of the Most High, Yahuwah, our Elohim. Father, thank you. Thank you for a beautiful morning. Thank you for an awesome family, a loving wife, and for brothers, and for sisters, and for friends, for tribe, and mag, and team, and clan, community, Father. Thank you for all of this. Thank you for an abundant spring thus far. Thank you for prospering and blessing us, even during this time of chaos. Father, if there's anything within the sound of my voice that's not of you, I rebuke it in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach and command it to destroy itself. Be gone from us, Father, and fill us up with your Ruach HaKodesh, your Holy Spirit. Father, ease the anxiety that so many people are feeling. Give us this day our daily bread. Keep us fed, spiritually, physically, emotionally, financially, educationally. Father, keep us fed. Please continue to walk with us. Show us how to do this thing called life, Father. Thank you for Yeshua, for redemption and restoration, and thank you for using busted up, broken POSs like me to serve your kingdom. Father, thank you for the Bear staff and everybody that supports us in this ongoing mission to do our broken best to put a smile on your face. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen. Bless y'all. Have an awesome day. Make it a good one. Shalom.